lyrics that I just picked up. So why don't I just shut this off for a second, get to it, and show you what we're doing here. Alright, what we got here is a Chevelle from the early 90s, probably early to mid 90s. It's the CX models. I'm not sure if any of you remember them, but you can basically buy this exact guitar, which is different pickup configurations.
Ew, what was that nonsense? What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris, the Atari Creep. How's everyone doing today? You know what that was? That was a video that was uploaded in September of 2009 from your pal, the Creep here. Yeah, I was doing YouTube back then. I didn't have the knowledge of how to do it properly. Not that I do it properly now at all, but I had a little BlackBerry and I had some ideas. And if you don't know by now, I play guitar. I repair guitars, and I'm actually a guitar builder, a luthier, if you will, if you even know what that word is. I did it both professionally and privately. I worked for a company called Parker Guitars for a number of years before they jumped ship and moved down to Maryland from Massachusetts. I think they went to Maryland. I can't remember. But long story short, I had a YouTube channel back in the day where I would do guitar projects. I did a cigar box guitar. And there's only like 20 or so videos maybe on the channel. I can't even remember now. But they were done very horribly, even worse than what I do now. Little BlackBerry and all that. Lately, I've been wanting to do a guitar project. And it's funny how the universe sometimes works that way. I told you with the idea of buying one of those build your own guitar project kind of deals on eBay, where they give you everything in the raw and you put it together. And I have enough background and skill set where I know even if the thing's jammed up and say the neck doesn't line up, I can make it work. But long story short, I was doing a favor for my landlord yesterday. He owns a pool service repair company and general maintenance company. And I work for him periodically. I'll do jobs with them. He pays cash. So pays well. He's a really nice guy. Takes care of me. So in turn, I take care of him. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of deal. And yesterday he messaged me. He was like, hey, Chris, I'm jammed out of job right now, but I got a couple parts that I need for tomorrow, so to speak. Could you go up to the supply place and pick them up for me? And I was like, yeah, of course I can. I got the time. So I took the half-hour trip up there and grabbed it and came back home. And on my way home, I see this guitar neck sticking out of between two trash barrels. So I pulled over real quick. I actually had to pull into the driveway because it's kind of a busy stretch of road. And I noticed that there was a trash truck on its way towards me. And I'm like, not this time, motherfuckers. You're not getting it this time. And sure as hell, I walked over to it and picked it up. It's a complete guitar, be it in an extreme state of disrepair. But after giving it a once-over, I said, you know what? This would make a fantastic, real project. I mean, this thing's a project, and we'll get to that here in a minute. So I took it home and gave it a good assessment. And what you're going to see is as found. I mean, the only thing I've really done to it was I tuned up what strings are on there just to gauge where the neck was at, whether it was twisted, or whether or not, and even if it was, throw away the neck, I got a body, I can buy a neck for it. But I really wanted a project, and the universe has spoken and gave me one. So let's have a look at this thing. Now, this isn't something I'm going to do often on my channel. It's just a little extra, and I want to do this project to compare it to the old projects that I used to do on YouTube and just have a real fun thing about that. Plus, I figured if it was something that you might be interested in, maybe you could pick something up from this. Or if it was just another thing that you may be interested in normally. But I will not be doing this often on my channel. I just wanted to see where we could go with this guitar. And since I have this channel, I know I have my vlog channel, which was probably more appropriate for. I think I just put it here, guys. So let's look at this thing and let's talk about what we may or may not do with it. So here's what we have to deal with. It is a Squier Stratocaster. By Fender. It's Fender's import model. I would say it's probably middle of the road for the Squier Strats. It's not the extreme low budget ones, but it's definitely not their higher end $400, $500 Squiers. I'm going to guess about 150 brand new. For the most part, for what it is, the parts are pretty quality. I mean, for what you get, I do enjoy the neck. It really does have a nice neck. It's beefy. Rosewood is beautiful. It just needs to be conditioned. You can't get rosewood anymore. It's illegal to buy rosewood for some reason. I don't know why. I didn't research it, and I don't give a shit. But aside from aesthetically, it's actually a playable guitar. I could clean this up, give the electronics a once-over, restring it, and give it a decent setup, and I guarantee you this thing can play as is, but that's not good enough. Let's tinker around with this thing and have some fun. First and foremost, whoever had this before me murdered it with paint. I don't know what they were going for here. Sometimes you can figure it out. I don't even think they pulled this thing apart. I think they just taped off a few things and just slathered it with paint. I don't get what was going on here. It looks like a little kid decided to hit it with a marker. This poor thing has seen better days, but we are going to bring her back to life. Some interesting things if you look at the back. They decided to tape off this spot to keep the original finish, which was black. Decent little sticker, and I'm surprised there's not more. And here's some of the original paint, too. There's a couple of gouges in it. Some drippies and stuff like that. But overall, I think we can make something not only aesthetically rad, but something very playable and something to enjoy. I've wanted a Strat for a little while, so between that and wanting a project, here we go. Now, what you're seeing here is as found. The only thing I've done is I tuned it up to gauge where the neck was at, and the neck is fine. It's got enough of relief. There's no real fret buzz, though the frets do need some attention, as they would with any guitar like this. But surprisingly, the edges of the frets aren't sharp. A lot of times on these import cheap guitars, these are sharp as hell, and you got to clean them up. But either someone took great care with it at one point, or they got lucky with it from the factory. So what do we want to do with this thing? I don't know. I know I'm definitely going to replace the electronics. What I'm going to keep, I don't know. What I'm going to replace, I don't know just yet. But first and foremost, we need to take the thing apart and figure out what's what. These fucking barbed wires off of here. Yeah, look at that. Diodario strings. I don't like those. We're not using those again. Come on. Stupid paint. Oh, hello, original finish. There, way. Here's something that's kind of interesting. Give you an idea of some of these import guitars and how they kind of force fit this stuff. Typically, what you would want is these to be pretty even on the neck here. So when you attach it to the body, if you look at this here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's actually at a weird angle. And there's actually a lip here. It appears that this neck or this body wasn't routed properly. Most likely the body, and the neck wouldn't go straight. So they actually had to grind out some of the stuff in here, and I could feel where they grinded out the wood to set the neck at an angle so it would be straight in relationship with the bridge and the pickups. And that's kind of typical of what you'll find with some of these import guitars. Nothing to be concerned about, something I can work around. Maybe some shims to tighten up the neck joint. That's about it. Alright, let's see what kind of nightmare we have underneath this bad boy. Come on. I knew this was going to happen. The paint glued it to the board, to the body. Oh, there we go. God bless America. Oh, the pickups weren't even screwed into the pick guard. How yummy is that? All right, so let's gently remove this from the. There we go. I know the camera's not going to pick up the amount of filth that's in here, and I tried it with the light and still couldn't see it. But ew, this poor thing's been neglected. Removing the springs from the bridge. Unless it's completely. Well, I guess it wasn't. Ooh. Alright, bridge is out. And aside from the spring claw, this guitar body's ready to have some attention. Right, no disassembled Johnny 5. Too bad, buddy, you got disassembled. So we are down with taking this fucker apart, for the most part, as far as I want to go. So let's talk about this. The electronics in this thing, these are junk pickups. You know, you can see the battery, the magnets on the outside. I prefer as part of the pole pieces. That's just a cheap way of making pickups. I'm sure they sound fine, but whatever. These pots suck. This sucks. This whole thing sucks. The only thing I'm surprised about is there's actually shielding on the pick guard. So that's pretty cool. Now, as far as the pick guard itself, I may salvage this. None of these things are screwed in, so they're just going to flop around, see? I may salvage this. I may sand it down, buff it out, and see where we go from there. I am definitely not going to go for a brand new factory, shiny, super duper guitar. I could, but I'm not going to do that. I want to kind of preserve some of its history, some of its fuckery, if you will. So the pick guard, I don't mind if it has a relict or aged look. That would be cool. I have no problem with that. So once I pull up all this plastic that the guy painted over, let's see how salvageable that thing is. So let's get this out of the way. As far as the neck is concerned, I would like to remove some of this paint and of course some of that. Just clean it up, get it, nice oil into the fretboard and clean up these frets a little bit. There's a few dents, dings here and there, but for the most part, the frets did not buzz. So I don't know. As far as the tuners are concerned, these are all jacked up. I don't think I'm going to be able to strip the paint off of this without stripping out the cheap chrome that's on it. And maybe I'll go with a locking tuner anyway, a cheaper one. Planet Waves makes a decent one that's a decent price. So, but the neck is really nice. I do want to replace the nut, but a good cleanup and some fretwork should be good to go. Now, as far as the body is concerned, I'm going to have to sit here and mull on this. If you have any ideas, by all means, go ahead and put it down in the comments below. I will not be doing a Frankenstrat with this. That was talked about between me and my buddy Mike, but the routings here are completely different from the ones on that. And if I'm going to do a Frankenstrat, I might as well do it as accurate as I possibly can. In this case, it'll just look stupid. To me, anyway. So we're not doing an Eddie Van Halen Frankenstrat. Yeah, so that's really all there is to it. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm just going to smooth down this paint. I mean, look at all those chicken pox. I'm going to smooth it down. I'm not going to remove it. And I'm going to work off of that. I'm going to preserve some of this guitar's history by possibly leaving some of this paint. Maybe I won't. I don't know. There's like gouges in it right here. I don't think I'm going to go so far as to fill them. We'll see. And I want to rework this net pocket and see what happens. That's really all there is to the body. So if you have any ideas of what you think I should do with it, by all means, put it down below. No ideas too extreme. I'm not putting like lights and shit in it. Don't worry about that. I could carve something into it. That'd be neat. So last we'll go to the hardware. This bridge is going to get replaced. I was originally going to use it because it is pretty solid. But it is bent and it's made out of cheap pot metal anyway. It's got some heft to it. So there's some sustain to this thing. But I want to go with a vintage steel style bridge with a brass block anyway. So I can get that from a different website. We'll talk about that here in a minute before we sign off. If I can clean this up, I may reuse the neck plate. It would be nice to have a nice custom etched one. People all over eBay do that. So maybe an Atari symbol. That'd be pretty neat. This is definitely going to get replaced as well as the jack input itself or output, however you want to call it. Probably get one more spring for the bridge setup. And that is really where we're at with that. So now I just need to figure out, we're going to start with the body. We're always going to start with the body and work our way up. So there you have it. Now the fun part, figuring out where you want to go with this project, or where I want to go with it. And bringing it to life. That's all. I'm going to be using two sources for different things. The first one is going to be a company called Stewart & McDonald, StewMac. They're a luthier supply company. They do tools, materials, and parts. Another company is called Guitar Fetish. They're actually here in Massachusetts, from what I understand. And they sell parts that are a little cheaper. They're Chinese made, but they're actually decent quality, especially their pickups. They're like, say, a Seymour Duncan pickup. If you have a specific one you like, they have the equivalent. It's almost reverse engineered. It's kind of shady to go that way, but you pay about a third of the price, and it's actually really good quality. And it's perfect for something like this guitar here. That's not really worth much, even if it was brand new and shiny. So guys, go ahead and leave your ideas down below. I'm not going to do anything crazy, but maybe you'll inspire me moving forward in this. And in the next video, we'll talk about what I am going to do, and of course, show you the parts that I'm ordering. Or if I have ordered them by then, I'll show them off to you. So guys, thanks as always so much for watching. Let me know if this is something that's of interest to you. If not, that's okay. Just move on to the next video. That's fine with me. So go ahead and leave feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All feedback to the Creep is positive. Until next time, guys, take care. Creep it real.